This is Susan Wheelbanks with blendedinsight.com. I am a holistic and integrative healing arts practitioner, an intuitive, and an energy healer. In this podcast, I share tips, tools, and suggestions that have helped me along my path in hopes of inspiring and helping you along yours. Let's get started with today's podcast topic. Hey, bright soul, how's it going? I'm back. I was out for a few weeks because I had family in town and I was traveling and getting ready for school starting. We're back in school here where I live, so it's just been really busy. And I appreciate everyone's patience with my long response times because for a part of that I was in the mountains and I had low connectivity. And I was mindfully unplugging, which is something I want to talk to you about today. Something that I've really been working on for the past several months is mindfully participating in technology. So what I mean by that is technology is phenomenal. Phone, computer, email, the internet, Fitbits, Siri, Alexa, it goes on and on and on. All of these tools that we've created that have made life easier in many ways, and we're able to connect. And I'm so grateful for all of the ways that I'm able to connect with people overseas and in different states. It's beautiful, but it starts to get overwhelming at times. And I was listening to a podcast months ago where someone said, are we using technology or is technology using us? And it resonated with me because at times I feel like I'm so tied to my technology that I can't get a break and unplug and unwind. And whether it be wearing my Fitbit where it buzzes every hour because I need to get up and move, or someone texts me so it buzzes on my phone, on my wrist and on my phone, that's settings that I can change, but it gets to the point where it just becomes too much. And so what I have really started to do is completely disconnect from technology. And so I do it very mindfully. So I am no longer checking my email a million times a day. I have set times where I'll sit down and check it. And I leave my phone on Do Not Disturb most of the time. And the way that I work that is if there's an emergency, I have contacts that are set to still come through if it's Do Not Disturb. So like my daughter, my family members, they can still call me if my phone's on Do Not Disturb and they can still reach me in case of emergency. And I just let them all know that. I think I had this fear from all of the deaths in my family or worrying as a single mom. What if someone needs to reach me and they can't find me? And it's really not logical because people can find you if they need you. I think back to the time when my first brother died, Red Cross found me, and that's before cell phone ages, and they were able to find me and contact me. And so it's like we really need to take the pressure off of ourselves. I have my location shared with my family and those closest to me, so they could just track my location services and come find me. Or they know me pretty well in my routine, so it's like someone will find you if they need you. Take the pressure off yourself. It's okay to unplug for a little bit. Also, you're spiritually connected, so if something is not right, chances are Spirit will send you a direct line and give you information on what you need to do to find out what is going on. The other thing that I did really last year was turn off my social media notifications. And the reason I did that is because I will mindfully check my social media when I'm in the space to go through it and answer it. I get a lot of inquiries and questions, and a lot of it is time wasters, to be honest with you, just people that are wanting to poke to see if they can get something for free or they're trolling, and I don't have any time for that. So I have to be in the right space for that. I work full-time and I'm a single mom and I do my healing business part-time. So my time is very precious and limited. And when I sit down to do anything connected to my healing business, I need to be connected and in the right state because this is a divine calling. It is a divine assignment. This isn't a trade skill that I just went and learned. It's something that I was called to do. So it's much different than sitting down and doing analyst work and powering through it. No, I can't overextend myself in my healing practice. So I check social media a few times a day. And over the last couple of weeks, I wasn't on social media really at all. I didn't have time for it. And I intentionally went to the hot springs. So I was in the water a lot and I just completely left my electronics behind. Didn't even touch it, didn't look at it, didn't think about it. I was in the moment, consciously aware, consciously present, and spending time with my daughter, who was most important to me in the physical realm. So these are all things that I've really been working on, and I want to encourage you to work on it too. The other thing that I've been doing is just taking off my Fitbit when I'm doing breath work or meditation, and I want the electronics completely cut off. When I'm out and about, I'll leave my phone behind. A lot of times I will just, when I'm in public, I just notice how people are on their phones in line. They're on their phones at the restaurant. I mean, they're on their phones a lot, and I'm raising my hand. I'm guilty of this. And a lot of times it's because when I'm actually like sitting down is the only time I'm sitting down because I'm so busy and I'm going all day. So that's my time to like try to connect with others or see what's going on. But I've been so mindful about it that I notice if I get on social media, a lot of times people that are just seeking attention, which is a lot of what social media is, maybe it's friends or just people that I'm connected to, it just kind of like, I notice that my energy goes down a little bit. Like it's kind of deflating. It's not inspiring to me. I don't enjoy it. Some people just genuinely want to share stuff that makes me laugh or that it's funny. I can feel the intent behind it. I can feel when it's attention seeking or ego boosting. And I'm just like, ugh, I feel like I'm working at that point. So I feel like I'm actually in the spirit working, and I don't want to do that. So I just started getting off of it, barely posting, not doing that much, and really just focusing more on having conversations with people and really just focusing on the people that have actually invested in me and that we share time, we exchange energy. And those are the people that I want to commit my time, my attention, and my energy to. I don't want to just blast it out and overextend myself with things that don't really matter to me or that don't feed me or fill me up or contribute, because I want to use my social media to actually uplift people. I want to use my energy to uplift people, my presence on this earth. And so when I am overextended, drained, exhausted, or feeling like I can't get a break, I'm not doing that. So neither are you. And that's why I wanted to use this podcast today, is to share with you that it's a good idea to look at ways in which you need to unplug, ways in which you are leaking out your energy in ways that don't serve you or really serve others. And look at ways in which you can really benefit from disconnecting so that you can feel more connected to yourself, to others, and to spirit. The last thing I wanted to mention on this before I just kind of do a recap is for those of us in the spirit-oriented professions or service industries, what I have noticed, and this is just, I'm sharing this because this is what is working for me, and I've been dealing with this for a few years, is sometimes people will order sessions from me, or they'll send inquiries in the middle of the night, or after business hours. And because this multimedia electronic age has essentially caused people to become very impatient and want instant everything, they'll get very persistent, or they're like an anxious energy about wanting me to respond immediately. And it almost comes across like a panic energy. And I'm so grateful that I've basically aligned out of most of that, but I still get it here and there. Most of my clients are phenomenal. And what I really had to just sit and tell myself is that, so there's time differences because I work with people all over the world, but I have to have balance in my life, and I have business hours. So I'm not obligated to respond to someone on a weekend or 10 o'clock at night when I go to bed at 8 o'clock because I get up at 4 o'clock because I exercise in the morning. So it's like there has to be some level of boundaries for yourself, because when you overextend yourself, you dishonor yourself. And this is something that I've done for many years. Overextended myself and had this sense of urgency for others, when at the end of the day, it was me who was suffering because I am giving away my energy to those who are impatient or demanding of me. And that's not the energy I want to send out, and it's dishonoring to me. So I quit doing that. So I have set business hours. If I see something in the middle of the night, I'm not going to respond to it. Let's just say that I just happen to be awake and I'm out and I checked and I saw something. I'm not responding that because my business hours are set just like everybody else in the world. It's just like nobody goes to the doctor's office on a Saturday at 10 p.m. and expects to be seen unless it's an emergency room. I'm not a first responder. This stuff is not emergency. This is spirit-directed, spiritual-based businesses, in which I am not on alert and on call all the time. And so if you're in the same type of boat, I'm just telling you, when you start to give yourself permission and you begin to honor yourself and honor your boundaries, the right people align with you. And those that really value you, your work, your time, and your boundaries, they'll accept it, and you'll all be battled for it. And they'll get a better version of you because you won't be so overextended and tired. Also, what I have found to be true for me is that clients that really need to speak with me or book a session with me, Spirit will start putting their name on my heart, usually a few days before that they even book with me. Sometimes it's the same day, sometimes it's a couple hours before, but I always know that person is about to book with me and that I really need to create space for them because Spirit will tell me. So just set your intention that way and you can take the pressure off of yourself. You deserve to unplug and have balance in your life. And when you unplug, you reconnect to yourself, to others, and to Spirit. So with that said, let's go into a healing to just really help you see ways in which you can, should, and will, after hearing this, create areas where you can unplug. Just dissipating any fear. You won't miss anything. The universe was here way before electronics and distractions. So the universe has a way of connecting with you, contacting you, and telling you everything you need to know. So as I am wrapping up the healing, just bring to your awareness 1 or 2 things that you can do today to start unplugging and reconnecting. And maybe it's not even electronics, maybe it's gossiping, distracting yourself, things that just really deplete you, things that you would like to disconnect from. It could be anything. Okay, and so it is. I want to thank you for leaving me reviews on iTunes. If you haven't, please do. I appreciate it and it helps so much. And if you have any type of podcast suggestions, you can always send me a line at susan@blendedinsight.com. I have lots of great downloads and programs over at blendedinsight.com, so check that out. I use my sleep meditation every single night. I absolutely love it. So if you have difficulty turning off and getting to sleep, you should check it out. I can also post that in the show notes. And I just wish you a beautiful day and week. Thank you so much for connecting with me and all of your beautiful, loving energy. I so appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye.